Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news, update, and information with a video on the 2023 Ford Bronco. So we are covering a lot of videos on the Bronco, but we like to keep people updated on news and information regarding vehicles that they're interested in. And so the Bronco is in big news right now. A lot of people are wanting them. And they don't want to miss out on their opportunity to go ahead and put that order in for 2023. And there are some dealerships with inaccurate information and such, so we want to kind of get you some information. Plus, I think at the end of this video, we'll also kind of break down each of the different trim levels we think will be available at the when the order banks open up, as well as some of the overview of some things that you might want to think about of whether or not your configuration or certain configurations could cause it to not be scheduled in this production year. It may get kicked to a 2024, and you will not have price protection on those for 2024 versus 2023 price. So we'll keep you updated on all that. So if you do like information on this, hit the subscribe button down below so you can subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. That way you can be notified next time another video uploaded to our YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and dive in and talk about some of this information. So first, let's talk about ordering here. So Ford has told us that the order banks will open up March 27th, so that's coming up in just a couple weeks. There is going to be a webcast next week on the 20th for dealers regarding the 2023 Bronco. I believe it's going to be regarding the order bank information on what trim levels will be available and such, as well as the name match information. So this year, Ford is bringing back the name match for the Bronco lineup, meaning that the person that orders the vehicle needs to be the one that purchases the vehicle when it comes in. So, and don't put in that order if you're a dealer if that person isn't planning on ordering it, or if you know that they're canceling and they're not, to go ahead and cancel that order. So that's what's going to happen. Dealers will be penalized for a lower number of those being not matching up for you, and you could start losing allocations in the next production year if you do have too many of these, or your number goes too low, and they may even not allow you to even have any allocations if it gets too low, if you're really breaking the rules on that. So that's why some dealers are requiring a deposit because it's kind of serious. If you're going to put in an order, we need you to take that order when the vehicle comes in. So if it's something that you don't think you're going to do, or you don't know, maybe you should hold off until you make that decision that you want to order. So keep that in mind. Now, there are dealers right now that are saying they're taking orders. They can't submit the orders to Ford yet. What they're doing is they're taking pre-orders, and we're doing the same thing here. We have about 35 pre-orders for the order banks when they open up for us, and that just allows us as dealers to be able to put those orders in right away for you as the customer. And so if we know that information, because the order building price is up right now on Ford's website, exactly how those should be able to be built, there should be no change to that on the 27th. There may be some job 2 changes possibly, and so maybe we'll get information on that. If so, of course, I'll do a video so you guys have that information, but otherwise it will be exactly the way it is on the building price. So because of that, you can give us those orders, and we're able to submit those orders. And as long as we have your information, getting that order submitted, that is the most important thing, is getting that timestamp as early as possible on that day when the order bank's open within that dealership. It helps only within the dealership, because it's dealership allocations, dealership orders, and the allocations go to those dealers that have them based on their orders, not other dealers' orders. So keep that in mind as well. But that's kind of how this is working. So if you have dealers that are asking and saying, hey, yeah, we'll take your orders, and we're putting in orders, they're not putting them in yet. Order banks are not open yet, but they're taking those pre-orders so they can be ready to go, especially if you want to get your order punched in as soon as possible so you can get scheduled sooner and such like that. So that's kind of how that works. A lot of dealers are doing that. Some dealers are taking deposits, some are not. Here at McArthur, we have decided to take a $500 deposit. What we're really saying is that if you decide you don't want to get it before it's gets scheduled, we'll give you your deposit back. But if it's something where once that vehicle is scheduled for production and it's scheduled and built for you, when that vehicle comes in, then it's going to be a non-refundable deposit at that point, where that $500 will go to the purchase of your Bronco. Because if that does come in, you decide not to take it from the time it gets scheduled to the time it comes in, then it does hurt us on the name match. So that's the reason we're doing a deposit, is mainly for that reason. So and so that's kind of our policy, but every dealership has their own policy, so you need to talk to them and figure out what's going on. This is a great time to communicate with your local dealers, find out what they're going to be pricing the Broncos, what is their pricing scheme, do they have enough allocations for your order. All the dealers have received a notification from Ford telling them, here's how many more orders we predict and estimate that you can take in within this model year. So for us, they've told us, I believe that number is 58, that we can take in 58 orders. And even they did break down for the different commodity constraints. So they know what their capacity is on certain trim levels and different packages, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. And they've even broken down of, hey, out of your 58, here's how many Wildtraks you can put in, here's how many Sasquatches and such within the capacity, so that those orders can be scheduled and built for your customers. And so that way it's encouraged not to take this many. For us, it was like no more than 11 Wildtraks because the Wildtrak capacity is, it's now 23%. Originally it was 15% when that came out. And so based on that, what's 23% of 58 orders, you shouldn't have any more than this many Wildtraks. It kind of makes sense so that you can make sure all of your orders can get scheduled, produced for your customers within the model year, so that they don't lose out on any price increases having to go to 24 months. So, and of course, if the customers decide, no, I'm okay, that is really on them, but at least having those conversations with your customers and dealers to be able to keep that squared, so they know what the expectations are of, hey, we're already over our orders for this year. Ford is telling us 58, we're at 60, just letting you know there's going to be a couple orders that probably won't get built this year and might carry over. Yours is one of the last ones. Just want to let you know that might be a possibility. Then they can, if they want to, say, you know what, I don't want to take my chances. Let me go find a dealership that has more allocation or less orders than what they have allocations for. So having those conversations with the dealer is very important, so you know exactly what's going on. So hopefully most dealerships should have that information. Somebody at the dealership, maybe a manager and such, maybe the salespeople don't, but they can always refer to their managers for that information so that they can make sure that your order is going to get scheduled within this production year. So now let's talk about some of those capacities. So one of them is the Wildtrak. So Wildtrak, at one time, Ford would say their capacity was 15% of the Broncos being built could be built as a Wildtrak. That number has actually gone up recently to 23%. I'm sure we'll get an accurate number next week during the dealer broadcast. They'll probably let us know, here's our Wildtrak capacity. From what the last I heard from this, last month, our dealer information was 23%. And also another constraint is if you have, whether it be a Badlands or it be a Big Bend, Outer Banks, any of those, the Sasquatch package is also a package that is capacity on that one is 42%. It actually has gone up a little bit. So 42% of the Broncos being built can be a Sasquatch package, which is the one that's giving you the Sasquatch wheels, the wider fender flares for you, giving you the Haas 2.0 suspension and such, and that, of course, an upgraded gear ratio as well for you, and a front and rear locker as well. So that's a pretty popular package. A lot of people want it. The biggest capacity problem with that is the wheels. So I do recommend, if you're wanting that Sasquatch package, not necessarily for the front locker or for anything, but mainly you want those wheels, go aftermarket for those wheels. Go ahead and order it without the Sasquatch and get some aftermarket wheels and off-road tires. In the aftermarket world, there's plenty of different options and cool options out there for you, even some beadlock capable wheels as well, if that's really what you're wanting. But if you want it because of the gear ratio and you want it for that front locker, then go for it. So that's what I would encourage you to do. So kind of be thinking about that. Another capacity is the Lux package. So that Lux package, which is available on the Outer Banks, also available on the Badlands, that is a package that includes a lot of great features. In fact, let's go ahead and pull up and go over here. I want to pull it up anyway to Ford's Build and Price and pull up that package, because there's a lot of things in that package and I can't remember them all off the top of my head. So that route, there we go. Probably pop up on me again. There it goes. All right, so let's go to an Outer Banks, for instance, and go ahead and pull up this Lux package so you know exactly what's included in that package. And I do have a breakdown of each of the different trim levels, what we call our complete guide videos, and I've done a breakdown on all of the different trim levels. If you want to check those out, check out at the end of this video, I'll have a recommended playlist. That playlist is a playlist on the Bronco. There's several videos in there on the Bronco, but if you dig down, some of the older ones are the ones from the complete guide videos that we. So this is a package that a lot of people want, I think, because of the adaptive cruise control. So adaptive cruise is what comes on this package. Also, the B&O audio sound system. So Bang & Olufsen with 10 speakers, including subwoofer. That's another reason why a lot of people want this package, because the audio sound system in the Bronco is not that desirable. So they want that B&O audio sound. Heated steering wheel is also something that's included in that. The for smart charging USB ports. You get 2 on the dash, so that's up there. There's where you can mount different GoPros and such up there, and so there's 2 USB type A and C up there on the dashboard, so you can plug those devices in if you want to do that. Also, some people are, and actually I've ordered one, a rail system for my phone, so if I want to plug my phone in, it can be plugged in up there if I had that system, but I don't. Also, universal garage door openers as well on the visor for the driver. That's included in this package. You do get Sync 4. You're already going to get Sync 4 with enhanced voice recognition system or standard equipment. But this includes the connected built-in nav, which means you get 3 years of navigation service included. If you don't have this, you'll have the connected nav, and that gives you 3 months, and then you have to pay a subscription. I think I pay $10 a month to have my navigation on Bronco Big Ben. And then the wireless charging pad as well is included. So that's all part, and that is constrained to about 36%, I believe, or 38% now. And so that means only that percentage will, that's their capacity. Any more than that of orders, then it's gonna take longer for those to get scheduled, and possibly not get scheduled until 2024 model year. And those orders have to be put back in as another new order for 2024. So those are the main ones. Also, of course, the hardtop. So if you have a 4-door hardtop, that is also very constrained too. So their capacity on that is, I can't remember that number off the top of my head, but the hardtop is something that is very constrained as well. A lot of people want that hardtop, and so that is also something that could cause yours to be delayed. Now, this is my recommendation, is as you add more and more of these constrained items, the harder it is for your order to be built. So if you have just one of these, hardtop, maybe not Lux, maybe not Sasquatch, then that's going to be a little bit easier for you. If you have a Sasquatch, but you don't have the hardtop, you don't have the Lux package, that may not be too bad for you, and you might be scheduled. But when you start adding 2 to 3 of these on at a time, especially if you have a hardtop, Sasquatch, and Lux package, that's what's going to really delay your order. So it's kind of compounding on each of them together that's really the bigger delay. So a lot of the peak customers that are just now getting scheduled, that have been waiting for a couple years, that's exactly what's going on with those. They're like a Badlands with Sasquatch, with the Lux, with the hardtop, and that's what's taking so long. Or they're a Wildtrak, where so many people wanted the Wildtrak because they wanted that, that upgraded, standard Sasquatch and such, and they wanted that type of version. So, so just letting you know, just kind of constraints and thinking that through when you go ahead and place that order with your local dealer. So now let's go through and break down these trim levels and kind of talk about what's going to be available. I do want to remind people too, there are a couple trim levels and couple options that are not going to be built until Q3 of 2023 calendar year. And so because of that, you may want to think about holding and going a different route on your configuration. So just so you know that, so one of those is the Everglades edition. So Everglades, which is over here, let's scroll down a little bit. Everglades over here. So there you go, a confidence inspired off-roader. So this is going to be able to go through, water, rivers, that kind of thing. Those are something that's what kind of this edition is for. I love the look of it. It comes standard with the winch on the front, also comes standard with a snorkel and standard Sasquatch as well, which is also probably another reason why this is being delayed a little. The main reason on the Sasquatch right now, I believe, is actually the wheel. And this does have a different wheel to it than the Sasquatch on the other packages. So for the Badlands, Everglades is not going to be scheduling until Q3, and they're going to be building through November for 2023 model year. But Q3, you're getting into September. So September, October, November, let me that back. It's actually July, right? Sorry, Q3 would be July. So you won't get scheduled until July for these production of these vehicles. So they're only going to have a couple months, maybe 3 months of production of these instead of half of a year of production. So Everglades is one of those. Also, the base model is also another one. So if we look at a base model down here, that is also a model that is going to be constrained a little bit. You might be encouraged for $4,000 to go up to that Big Bend trim, which is very readily available, by the way. And you do get some things. Hey, if you want a base, hey, I just want to get a base and then configure it to my specifications. That's great, but they are not also going to be scheduling any of the base trims until Q3 as well as the manual transmission. So again, something that in a sense is going to be constrained until Q3 as well. So those 3 options there is not going to be available for you. So that might be something to think about when you go to the base trim. Of course, base is going to be very well equipped. It's going to come standard with the full Copilot 360 suite of features. Auto high beams, does have, of course, the pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking and a lot of those other features. It'll come standard with the steel wheel. Of course, available in 2-door or 4-door, and available in the 2.3 or the 2.7. So if we build this out, we'll try to build out and on each of these. There we go. So here we go. So powertrain down here, available in the 2.3 or the 2.7. So you can see that upgrade cost for the 2.7 available. And if you go to the full-time all-wheel drive, that's usually your Sasquatch package. So rear locker is available. The 4.7 is part of that Sasquatch package. So Sasquatch is also available there. So base with the Sasquatch, again, Sasquatch package is a constraint there, and some different options. There's the Sasquatch wheel for you and tire, but some great options on here as well. So just some things to think about there. I don't believe the modular front bumper is a possible constraint, not drastic constraint. A lot of people have been getting them with those on there. I'm just trying to pull up my page here that kind of shows that those constraints. I can get to it. There we go. So the modular front bumper, they're building that at about a 36% capacity. And right now, currently, they have more orders than what their capacity is for the modular front bumper. So if possible, try to go away and try not to add that to your Bronco. I know it's hard because that's my favorite bumper of all of them, is that modular front bumper. So that's just something to think about when it comes to this package. And then, of course, try to stay away from your hardtop if possible, which is difficult. Now, 2 doors is a different situation because a 2-door hardtop is standard equipment, so they're going to focus most of the hardtops to the 2 doors. But also, when looking at the 2-door, the capacity of production for the 2-door is 17%. So about 17% of the Broncos are going to be built as a 2-door. So the rest of them are going to be 4 doors. So if that also sways you to the 4-door or the 2-door, you need to keep that in mind as well. So just so you know that. So the base model is kind of where it all starts. Very good vehicle, but a lot of people, the trim, if I were you, would be to see if you can go up four more thousand to the Big Bend trim. Again, I've done a complete guide video on these, so you can kind of see the difference between those. But this is your kind of your start. I ordered mine a 4-door Big Bend myself. I got it very quickly. I went cloth top. So that's something to think about. I will just to kind of tell you, it used to be that the 2.3 liter was the engine that was more readily available. That has actually shifted now. They're the 65% capacity for the 2.7 liter engine. So kind of the other way now. If you're wanting to put one in, if you want to get one quick, you want to go probably Big Bend 4-door cloth top with the 2.7 instead of the 2.3 now, if you want to get one quickly built. So this is kind of what it's going to look like for the Big Bend. Very well equipped. What I really like is this package here. Go with that mid package for $1,500. I mean, look at that slew of equipment. This is where you get your intelligent access. This is where you get your heated seats, ambient lighting. It does also give you the outlet in the back of the console, auto dimming rear view mirror, dual zone climate, which is one of my very important one, remote start as well for your automatics, reverse sensing system along with your rear view camera. And then you still get the navigation there too. It's the connected, so you will have to pay for a subscription if you want to continue to have the nav, but then you can have the on-screen nav, and of course getting the Sync 4 and the enhanced voice recognition system with the conversational command like that. So that's all part of that. So that's pretty cool on how everything kind of looks. This is a nice package for $1,500. I believe it's well worth it. Again, Sasquatch is going to be delayed. Tow package isn't so much. So tow package, 55% of the orders can be built with the tow package. Currently in order banks, only 34% of the orders have the tow capacity. So if you're wanting to tow a vehicle, then you're going to want to have this, because you can't get this with the wiring installed at a dealer for $600. But if you're just needing the tow hitch to put like a bike rack on the back, or something else like that you don't need the wiring, then maybe get it later if you want. But it's not really holding builds up too much right now. We'll just have to see once orders are put in how that looks. But this is a great addition. You can upgrade it, you can customize it. I've done a lot of things to my Bronco. I put some different wheels and tires on it myself. I've even switched out the grill because I don't like the Big Ben grill myself. I do have this bumper here. I'm going to switch out some things on the front of it here real soon for it. So a lot of things you can customize on the Big Ben and give it what you want and get it quickly. So that's something that I always look at there. And I know there are going to be people that are going to tell me, hey, this guy doesn't always talk about, you order it the way you want it, Ford has to make it. But they don't have to make it quickly. So keep that in mind. So that is true. Get what you want. There are, like I'm saying, there are some things that depending on what you're looking for and what you're looking to do with your Bronco, think about that and the capacity constraints as well. So if you are a true off-roader that wants, the front and rear locker, Sasquatch, go ahead and add it to your vehicle. If you're just wanting the wheels and tires, get those aftermarket, like I said earlier. Now, the Black Diamond is also one of my favorite Bronco trims here. Only a couple different reasons why I didn't get it on my Bronco, but I do like the Black Diamond. I like the grill that the Black Diamond comes with. I like this that comes standard with the rock rails on the side. I do like these wheels, the standard wheel, but they also have some pretty cool wheel options as well. So you can go with this. This is their optional wheel on this, so you can get that black. What is that, a 6-spoke wheel? And do some counting there real quick on the video. A 6-spoke wheel. I do like the capable front bumper you get with this, with the tow hooks, with the shackles. Kind of what I'm going to, but mine will be located a little lower. Again, this one is for the Sasquatch. So you can go to this trim and it'll have standard, I believe this is standard rear locker if I remember right. But I do like this grill and such. And this is where you get the washout interior as well with the vinyl seats, the marine grade vinyl seats. So again, this is for somebody that wants to go off-road a lot. They don't want to break the bank by going to Badlands. They still want a lot of capabilities and such like that. And this would be a trim for you. And it's pretty readily available. I mean, the capacity on the Black Diamond is 8%, which is actually lower than the Wildtrak. Didn't realize that, but there's not as many orders in the order banks for these. It's about 5% right now, and it'll probably be even lower by the time the order banks open up. So if you want to know a trim that has the highest capacity, 29% is the Outer Banks trim, which we'll talk about next. So the Outer Banks, now this is the one, a lot of times if you want the off-roading and styles, what they call it, this is where you get your body-colored fender flares. Really what you're looking for, body-colored fender flares, also body-colored mirror caps instead of the molded in black there, and body-colored door handles. So this is where you kind of get that more, on road, but you have the off-roading capabilities and that kind of thing. Also a little bit nicer wheel here with a black painted machine wheel. Will come with the same bumper as you see on the Big Ben trim there. So it does take the Big Ben and then add equipment to it, and that's kind of what it's basing it off of here. But this one is going to come standard with the mid package. And by the way, I forgot to mention that you can get the mid package with the Black Diamond, but you can't get the LED signature lighting, and it's the washout interior. Two things reason I didn't go with the Big Ben or the Black Diamond. This one here comes standard with the mid package on the Outer Banks. And then you can upgrade to the high package or the Lux package. So the Lux package we already went over, but this high package, this is where you get the 360-degree camera and the bigger 12-inch touchscreen Also front sensing system along with the rear sensing, LED approach lamps as well with the LED spotlight on those mirrors. You approach the vehicle, unlock it, it's gonna put those puddle lamps, as some people like to call them, and then the LED spotlights that come out from the side over there. And then this is where you get upgraded with the connected nav. This is still the connected nav that you have to get a subscription for, but the Sync 4 with the enhanced recognition and the information on them. So it's a different screen, so 12-inch touchscreen, which I've done a video on. So this is a nice little package. This package is not a constraint, not listed at all on the order commodity constraints for this package. So this is pretty easy to get. So Outer Banks high package, not a bad little combination if you want that. Again, the more of this, the Sasquatch and such you add, the more constraints you're going to have, that kind of thing. Of course, cloth top would be the quick build. If you go 4-door hardtop, but you don't add the Lux and don't add a Sasquatch, you're probably going to be okay. Might take a little longer, but not as long as it would as if you had a Sasquatch and Lux package on. Now, the next model up to kind of just do an overview of real quickly, we do Heritage Edition. We're not sure whether or not that's going to be orderable. I would think so, not just to limit it just to the people that had a carryover order. I believe this is going to be available at the launch when order banks open up for 23. It's supposed to be a 2-year run for this package. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be available because it's going to be available in 24 as well. So I wouldn't see why they're limiting it. We're trying to do is, hey, anybody that has not received theirs yet, they can get this. They'll be the first ones to have this, get this as available to order. They are scheduling these this month. They're heavily kind of doing this the last several weeks. They've been scheduling the Heritage Editions. And so this is available here. And so this is the one. This trim is actually based off of the Big Ben when it comes to equipment. So it'll come a standard Sasquatch will be included with this, and based off the Big Ben equipment with the Sasquatch package and with the mid package. Mid package will be included. So if we go down to packages, you'll see Sasquatch is included right there as well as the mid package. Of course, does give you the Heritage look with the white roof, white grille, white wheels, which I really like. I love that look, and the white stripe down the vinyl down the side with the Bronco script there, right there. But that's how it's going to come, and also looks like the running boards, which I did about. And I do, of course, this is one of my favorite bumpers, is that the capable front bumper here with the shackles on the front for those tow hooks. So there you go. That is a Heritage Edition. I actually want to order one of these for 23 and trade in my 21, but I've done so many customizations on my 21, I'm keeping it. But really love this one here. We hope it's available. Should be available. If I were you, hey, if you want this, put in an order for it. In case it's not available, put in a backup order. We have a couple of our customers that have done that. Hey, if this trim isn't available, I want this instead. So you can always do that as well as a backup order. But there you go. And we didn't actually talk about powertrains. A lot of these are going to be available in 2.3 or 2.7. And again, 2.7 with the Heritage would probably get scheduled a little bit faster than a 2.3 would. And with the Sasquatch, I'd go. Again, 10-speed is has to be included with the. Let me think it through the 2.7 there. Keep in mind, manual transmission is also something that's not going to be scheduled until Q3 as well, along with the base and the Everglades. Go. All right, moving on down, we do have the next one should be the Badlands. So Badlands, this is your extreme off-roader. This is a person that plans to take theirs off-road multiple times in a year. This is one you can do. What I do like about the Badlands trim is that it starts at 46, a little bit about $4,000 more than the Black Diamond, but it starts with the standard package, so it does not include the mid package. So if you want, I want all that capabilities. This is the trim where you get the sway bar disconnect and front and rear locker, I believe, included on this as standard equipment. And so if you just want, hey, I want it for that capability because I'm taking this off-road, you can go standard package, add the Sasquatch. Again, the less of those items you have, the easier it is to get scheduled. So if you have just the Lux with the Badlands, just the Sasquatch with the Badlands, you should be okay. But otherwise, you could go standard package. Mid package shouldn't be a problem, or the high package on this. it's that Lux package that's going to be a problem if you go Badlands. But that's what's cool about the Badlands, is that you can make it a very bare bones Badlands off-road, extreme off-road and such, and go that route. Or you can, in the mid package, I think, is an important package. Whether you add the high or Lux isn't necessarily as important, but know that the Lux package will get yours delayed, especially, and also if you add the Sasquatch package. Now, on the Badlands package, or the Badlands trim, I should say, you're going to come standard with the Haas 2.0 suspension, so you're not going to get an upgrade in suspension when you go to the Sasquatch package on this one. That's why it's a little bit cheaper. The biggest upgrades is the wheels, and then the 4/7 gear ratio for the most part with that package. And so since you're already getting a front and rear locker, and you're already getting the Haas 2.0 suspension, it's mainly a wheel upgrade and some other minor upgrade, and the drive ratio upgrade as well, so for you. So it's on your look. Now, something to keep in mind, the optional wheel is not available on, is sold out for the rest of 23. So these two wheels, one of them is going to be included in the Sasquatch. I can't remember which one. So pop up. So that's the optional wheel. That's the wheel is not available. So I believe that is the gray ring, carbonized gray beauty ring on the outside. This one right here is the one that's included in the Sasquatch package. So that's something to keep in mind. They're looking to go, they want to schedule as many as they can Badlands. The capacity on that is 20%, which is third in a way of capacity behind the Outer Banks, Big Bend, and then the Badlands. But again, it's these wheels are going to be an issue there. So the optional wheel is not available for the rest of 2020. Keep that in mind as well when trying to plan. So next model is the one that's not readily available right now. Everglades won't start scheduling until Q3. But I like this, and I did a video on this one with someone that ordered it. It came in that color scheme as well. So this is going to be standard Sasquatch. It's based off the black diamond trim for this one here. So it's based off of that. It does give you the upgraded grille from like what you'd see on the Badlands with the black Bronco lettering. Comes standard with the winch, standard Sasquatch as well. And I love those wheels, by the way. Standard hardtop, only available in 4-door, only available with a 2.3 liter engine as well. So that's something else to keep in mind when you're looking at this one here. But comes with the snorkel and such. So again, check out the video I did on that. If you look at the packages, it'll come standard with the mid package. So again, based off the black diamond, so it'll have the washout interior and such. It'll have the rock rails on the side and such like that. And then of course standard Sasquatch and package on that one there. But you'll notice the Lux and the high package are not available with the Wildtrak. So keep that in mind as you looking at that. But and I like that. So I don't really like the snorkel myself, but everything else about this package I'm in love with. Really like that one. So anyway, there you go. That's also available. And then the next one, I actually thought the Wildtrak was going to be next, but it is after that. The Wildtrak is the one that the capacity is pretty low. It was 15%, now it's 23%, which matches up with the Big Bend trim, if that's true. Wildtrak is available either 2-door or 4-door. Standard 2.7 liter standard Sasquatch on this. So there you go. Standard 10-speed automatic as well. So looking at packages, it comes standard in the mid package included Sasquatch, so you can get the high or the Lux in this one here. So if you do go, I would recommend if you do go Wildtrak, try to stay with the mid or the high package. Try not to add the Lux package unless you just got to have those options. But that might be something. Also, if you're looking at a 4-door, try to go cloth top. Could help. And again, I'm just giving you ideas and suggestions. If you're wanting to not have to wait a year or go into 24, 4 years, if you want to be built in 23, I'm just giving you some helpful tips to try to get you in a Bronco without having to wait a period of time. So hopefully you guys take that as I'm just trying to help you and not tell you what to do. So anyway, and then Heritage Limited will not be available. That is basically dealers get one of those between this year and next year. So that's only 1,966 built in a 2-year run. So half of those, close to 1,000, will be built this year. The other 1,000 next year. And so dealers are getting those. Basically, they're a stock unit. So that's not something you can order when the order banks open up, just so you know that one. So I won't cover that too much, but this one is based off of the Big Bend trim or the Badlands trim for equipment, with the heritage look and everything. Standard Sasquatch as well, like the Heritage Edition. Of course, white grille, white top. The wheels are black with the white ring around it, that kind of thing. And then the Raptor, also like to, I think this now is a great opportunity to talk about the Raptor for a second. The Raptor is something too that you can put an order for this with your local dealer, but it will never get scheduled until the dealer has Raptor allocation available. So allocations for this, like we have 58 Bronco allocations. That doesn't even include Raptor. So that's not, Raptor allocation is separate from your regular Bronco allocations. So several separate. Then those are manually scheduled. Basically, the way that works is your dealer should know on a monthly basis how many Bronco Raptor allocations they're going to get. Like they might tell us at the beginning of the month, hey, you're going to get one Bronco Raptor allocation this month. So then we know to be taking an order from somebody that wants one. Usually what we like to do is get a list. So hey, if your customer's interested in getting a Bronco Raptor, here's our pricing on that, and what you could expect up over MSRP or at MSRP depending on your dealer, and then kind of have that list so that when we are told here's how, we will take one of those, and they'll usually tell us it could be the first week, second week, third week. Then they'll tell us usually the Friday before, hey, you have one allocation next week. You need to give us the order number that you want chosen in your order bank. So you need to make sure that order is added, and then tell us the order number, and that's the one that'll get scheduled. And so usually what at that point we'll do is make sure, the customer, we get their configuration ahead of time, hopefully, so we put that order in for them, and then that one will be scheduled. So we can always have them in the order bank ahead of time and just know which one is first, second, third, in a way of picking it for when we have allocations available. So just so you know, that's how Bronco scheduling and ordering and allocations go for those. That's how that'll work. A very limited production run, I think about 4,000 to 5,000 a year for the Bronco Raptor. Again, this one is, of course, most people that are in the Bronco Raptor, they know all about it. 3.0 liter V6 engine, standard Sasquatch, 10-speed automatic as well. Of course, rear locker, all the front and rear locker, because it is standard that way. The main thing is it's going to come standard with the high package with the Lux package available. So this is done a little bit differently. Lux package isn't necessarily going to be a constraint on a Raptor because the Raptor has its own individual allocation system and scheduling. But you can get the standard and high package, or you can add the Lux package to it. And then of course there is an optional wheel. A lot of times Ford will tell us that we're looking for Bronco Raptors without the optional wheel, or without the stripe packet, or without the graphics package. So just keep that in mind. There's the Raptor graphic right there, and then I believe the only other option, really the big option, is I believe there's an interior carbon fiber pack for the interior that's available, and I believe also like the code orange seat belts. Love those. So that's also available. So just a couple extra things available. So not a lot of options other than that Lux package, and some other things like the graphics in your carbon fiber package and those orange seatbelts for the most part. So there you go. So, and that's kind of how that goes, because I've had a lot of people ask me about that as well. So I know this is kind of a long video, but hopefully it's a nice overview for you if you're looking to put in a 2023 Bronco order, and hopefully it helped you out, give you some information that you can take and have those conversations with your local dealer. We do have some open allocations available if you want to order from us. We do free shipping if you finance a vehicle with us. We'll pay for the first $1,000 of your shipping cost if you live from out of state and want to do that, or if you want to fly in, we'll pay for up to $1,000 of your travel expenses, flight, hotel, that kind of thing, driving it back home. We can do that as well. So if you're interested in that, let us know. You can, of course, call or send text messages to the dealership here. Let them know you saw this video on YouTube if you want that YouTube special, so that they know that you are able to get that, and can communicate that with our Bronco specialist as well there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. I really appreciate it. Helps out the video and content. It gets us out to people that need this information, which is really the reason we do this. But other than that, Keep looking for us for any other Ford Bronco information and news and such on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button down below so you can subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified next time another video uploaded to the channel. And until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another, be kind to yourself, and we'll see you in the next video.